All right, good afternoon, Citrus Club members. Welcome back to Jake's Journal. And in front of me, I have our own Kevin Wallace, who is our golf course superintendent. And today's session is going to be turf tine. And when I say turf tine, we're going to talk about these, and Kevin's kind of give a little description about what that exactly means. So without further ado, I'm going to have Kevin take the floor, talk a little bit of a bio about himself, where he comes from, and then we're going to get right into turf grass science. Basically, Kevin's the doctor of our property. He is the resident expert. He's a scientist, could be a mad scientist as well. We'll let him decide that. And he's just going to talk a little bit about overseeding and aerification and transition. And then we'll have some fun and talk a little bit about maybe close to 20 questions about Kevin personally. So Kevin, welcome to Jake's Journal. And I'm pretty sure you're happy about being inside, 106 degrees outside, and nice and cool and air conditioned, and you're not used to that.
I've been looking forward to this for many months.
That's great.
Hello, my name is Kevin Wallace. I'm your golf course superintendent, both here at the Citrus Club, and I also oversee the Mountain and Dunes golf courses. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Kansas in the Midwest. When I was 6 years old, my dad took me into the pro shop and had a couple old clubs cut down, and that's how I started playing the game. From there, I ended up shagging balls on the golf course driving range. We did not have a cart picker or anything like that. I had the old little shag bag, and it was about a 75-acre range that I ended up shagging, and that was my first experience working in the golf course industry.
That's a labor of love right there.
It was very monotonous. It was, yeah. And we striped our own golf balls for the range during those days too. So you would find me with very red hands from time to time, because we had a trough that we used in the back of the pro shop. We'd put the ink on the trough and then roll the balls down into a bucket, let them dry for a day, and then we'd put them back into use. I also walked all the little creeks on the golf course barefooted, finding golf balls to supply the driving range.
All right.
The head pro would buy them from me, which was kind of nice. So I was working for him and had a little side job with him on that too. Eventually that led to me working in the pro shop, actually. So from the time I was about maybe 14 years old or so, I was cleaning clubs and helping get cart bags off and things like that, and then moved into the pro shop and was working behind the counter. We had a kind of a little, I call it a little blue collar Elks Country Club, like the Elks Lodge. It was one of the last remaining Elks Lodges that had a golf course in Salina, Kansas. And so I grew up there.
That is awesome.
Every summer I was there. I was at the pool. I was just living the life. It was fun. And then as I graduated from high school, I went to college at Kansas State University, eventually finding out that you could actually grow grass for a living and get paid for it. And I went into the turf grass program and graduated from K-State in 4 years. Went back home, did my internship at the same club that I grew up at. And that summer I was offered an assistant superintendent position in Winfield, Kansas, which is almost in Oklahoma. Was there for a few years, and then got my first superintendent's job in McPherson, Kansas, at a little 9-hole Perry Maxwell routed golf course that's not too far from Prairie Dunes. Perry Maxwell went throughout the whole Midwest for a period of time.
Yeah, popular designer.
Very popular. Prairie Dunes, and then he was Southern Hills, and just a number of really good golf courses in that area. And then of course he went out west and was all over the place. So but from that point on, I was at McPherson Country Club, and there was a golf course being built down the road from Prairie Dunes in Hutchinson called Cottonwood Hills Golf Club. It was a Nick Faldo design, and Marriott Golf was involved with them. And I took a position there helping the director of grounds grow that golf course in, and new construction. Really neat experience, and got me in with Marriott Golf, and that led me out west to Phoenix. And I was in Phoenix from about 2008 to 2010 at Wildfire Golf Club, JW Marriott Desert Ridge. And then Shadow Ridge here in Palm Desert opened up in 2010. I headed out here, and I've been here ever since.
And then now you have him here. So we're so happy to have Kevin part of our team. And I have the highest regards. I consider myself a superintendent in training, and Kevin laughs at me because all I do is ask him a ton of questions and try to be a sponge. And then we will continue to talk to Kevin a little bit about summer aerification, overseeding. He's going to talk a little bit about tines and what kind of tines are used for that aerification. We talk a little bit about scheduling and timing this year that's different that we have performed last year here at the Citrus, also at the Dunes course for best product deliverables. And then we're going to have some fun with some questions for Kevin. So Kevin, maybe just talk a little bit about your tines, a little bit about aerification and overseeding.
All right. Most people, when we talk about aerification, they cringe, and for me, I get very excited about it because it's a process that needs to happen, and the long-term and end results are the benefits from that. So let me go through a few things here. So this tine right here is one that we used on the fairways, which on the Citrus golf course, they haven't used this machine before. It's called a Wiedemann. It's a deep tine aerification, and we were getting anywhere from 4 to 5 inches deep pulling a plug. And then after that, we came back with a fairway aerification on top of that using tines like these, which are more of the 5/8 to ½ inch size. This is a 3/4 inch tine. So we did this twice, about 2 weeks apart. Citrus was closed for 5 weeks. And then on the Mountain and Dunes, they both got the same process as well. A very aggressive aerification, but the golf courses really need it. In the rough, this is a pull behind rough unit. It's a little quicker. We can get through things a little faster. It's not as clean of a hole, but with the turf being cut at 2 inches or so, it's very effective. And then on the greens, we go through a lot of the different things. In the spring, we use this tiny little one right here, a little 1/4 inch solid tine, usually around the edges of greens and also in some of the troubled spots that we're trying to help breathe. And then we also use this tine right here, which is a hollow tine, and it's about a 3/8 inch tine. I use that on any sod work that we do or any other areas that really need a little bit more TLC. And then finally, during the major aerifications, we use a solid tine that's similar in size to this one as a deep tine. We did one of those on the Citrus greens, which had not been done before. We also did it on Mountain and Dunes, and then also we follow up with 2 walking aerifications right behind this one, and then again 2 weeks later we do 2 more walking aerifications with this. This is a 1/2 inch solid tine, trying to get like 2 to 3 inches down on the in the soil substructure. The reason is right about there we start hitting pretty good clean sand, and the organic matter isn't down below that. Reasons we aerify is to help the soil breathe, and a lot of times there'll be a mat layer that creates itself over the top of areas, or there's a problem with gas exchange and things like that, and that can be detrimental to turf grass health and growth. And as much as everyone says just water it, well, it needs to breathe too, and that's the big things that we're trying to do. Remove the organic matter. We add some sand to help dilute that, and by adding oxygen into the soil, we're also able to get the microbes to start doing their thing and actually working and turning that soil over to make it more of a great growing medium.
Totally 2 different processes. Overseeding, we're putting sand or seed down, should I say, we're watering it, we're mowing it, we're establishing a turf. Somewhat easy, obviously a lot of acreage to cover. Aerification, very destructive, very not damaging, but we're breaking down that product and that matter, and it needs to heal. So our aerification processes are lengthy, but are something that has to happen. We obviously let Kevin make those decisions on what's best to deliver the greatest product here. What's different this year from overseeding, because we did last year, we recognized some weather opportunity, and we're going to be changing our overseed schedule this year, both for the Citrus and for the Dunes. You want to talk a little bit about that then?
Yeah, so and throughout all of PGA West, but we'll talk about this pod here, it was recognized that the timing of our overseeds was more structured around when can we keep things open as opposed to when is the best and ideal time for us to do that. Here in the Coachella Valley, October 15th is kind of the date, so any time around there is a real good seeding window. And we have to juggle all 9 golf courses and try to keep things going. And over here, we're trying to juggle the 3 and keep at least something open for the members to play, along with resort guests and things like that. So ideal time-wise, the Mountain Golf Course actually got moved up 1 week because it was always late. So it's going October 11th. The Citrus is going to go down October 18th, which is the ideal kind of date range right there. And the Dunes is going to be pushed back. Typically the Dunes was early in September, and that's rolling the dice. And probably 9 times out of 10 you were caught with some pretty hot weather. And from the story that I've been told, there's always a second overseed that happens on the Dunes golf course, and that typically takes place in late November and December. So as we looked at everything and trying to keep things open, the Dunes actually was in really, really good shape, even right after overseed, but we were playing on a lot of Bermuda. So we're going to take advantage of that and have really good playing conditions in October and into November until that first frost. Things will start kind of dying down a little bit on the Dunes, and then we'll do our overseed right after Thanksgiving. So kind of the same second window that we were doing before. We're just going to skip that first session of overseed. So I think it'll be good.
Well, we're excited, and really our goal is to give and deliver the best product that we can for you, the best playing conditions. We think with this adjustment, it will be very clearly communicated into the slice and well in advance so that you can mark your calendars. It's already on our calendar. So we're excited about great playing conditions in the future. So anything else that we need to cover? I don't think so. We're going to get to know a little bit more about Kevin. He's a great player, by the way. He played in the Silver Oak Cup. We partnered together, which was a lot of fun, and we were victorious, I must admit. So I'm going to throw some difficult questions, but maybe easy questions for you. Let's talk about what your favorites are, and you get to choose warm season grasses or cool season grasses.
I would prefer cool season grasses. I love playing on bent grass greens and ryegrass, bluegrass fairways.
So I think you already answered my question in terms of then putting surfaces. I'm hearing bent grass.
Bent grass would be my favorite. It's just the roll is so true. But overseeded greens with Poitriv and bent are pretty darn close.
Absolutely. And he's a great putter. Speaking of putter, would you choose a driver or a putter? I've seen you do both, by the way.
I am a streaky putter, and I'll have to lean to the driver. But when I'm putting well, I'm lights out on that one. But probably the driver anymore. I'm just pretty dead straight with it.
And then how about you've been around a lot of great golf courses, ours in addition to many other ones. Do you have a favorite course that you can maybe identify, or maybe it's top 3?
I love playing the Citrus. I think the Citrus is a golf course you can play every day and not get bored, and it's challenging. Probably here, the Tradition is a very good golf course. I look forward to playing it any chance I get. I haven't played every course around here, so I couldn't say, a few of them. But in the Phoenix area, Quintero is a really good golf course. And then I just have to go back home to McPherson Country Club because I was over there for about 9 years.
That's right.
It's a little Perry Maxwell 9-hole golf course, but I really enjoy it. One that's on the bucket list that everyone should play, and it's nothing fancy, but it's called Emerald Canyon over in outside of Parker, Arizona. And it's a little diamond in the rough that the county owns and runs, and I always look forward to playing it.
We'll have to put it on our list. That's great. And then if you were to play, and Kevin is a golf junkie, anytime I want to go play, I need a player, I just call Kevin, he says, just tell me where and when, and he'll be there. Ideal foursome. If you're going to go tee it up this Sunday, which you are, and I'm part of that foursome, but I can't be part of this foursome, who's your ideal foursome?
I'd have to take Freddie Couples for sure, and then I'd have to go to Ty Webb and Carl Spackler.
Oh, for spoken like a true greenskeeper right there. That is awesome.
Involved, yeah.
All right, and so when you hit it off that tee, since you've chosen the driver as your favorite, are you going to fade the ball? Are you going to draw the ball? Or are you going to hit the ball straight?
Man.
What are you going to do?
When I was a kid growing up, I was very short, but I had a pretty good slice on me. But now I just hit it dead straight to a little bit of a draw, and if I could pick it, I'd do the draw.
And I'm always jealous of the hole-in-one stories behind that. I'm at 0 still. How many hole-in-ones do you have?
I've had 6.
Oh my goodness, 6? You need to share some of those.
I had, my first one was in high school with my high school golf coach watching me. And he said that's a good thing because you can't putt Wallace.
Hence the driver. I think that kind of continued on with.
And the rest of them were just, here and there and everywhere. So really enjoy it. Really fun. I haven't had one in about 15 years, so maybe I'm due.
You're due. And how about your low score? What's your low score then?
Ooh, low score 63.
Oh my God, 63.
Yeah, par 69. But
that's okay. I think I shoot 63 every time I play, but I continue to play onboard, right? And how about, last but not least, your favorite golf movie?
Probably Caddyshack.
I was going to say, I think you referenced a couple characters there. So.
Dead Solid Perfect, though. That's a good one that a lot of people don't reference anymore.
Solid Perfect.
Dead Solid Perfect.
Dead Solid Perfect. Well, we appreciate Kevin and everything that he does. He is the doctor of our golf course. So lots of hard work and effort. He's up every morning at the crack of dawn. Actually, before that, probably 4:30, getting out here at 5. You'll see him around, and if you ever need anything from Kevin, he is always willing and able to speak to you, stop and say hello. So Kevin, can't thank you enough for everything that you do, and we look forward to a great opening up this coming Monday.
I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.